All right.
I didn't mean to.
No. I was talking to the computer.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like, I was just saying.
All right. So we're live everywhere.
Holy crap.
And hopefully Venison is out there in Skype land. Brian is parking the car.
Yes.
So he should be along shortly. So I guess we can go over here and there. And good evening, everyone. You are tuned into. Where's the button? Where's the button? There's the button. I'm looking in the wrong place on the screen.
Oh,
but you are tuned into.
Insert title here.
And I'm joining you live from the living room on the couch. And along with me is the one and only Barefoot Lurker.
Oh, shit. Were you calling me that now?
Well, that's what we always called you on the show.
I guess.
It
feels so weird. Though I guess I am barefoot.
Lummy. That's like yummy in the tummy, but lummy.
Right.
Okay. No.
It works for me.
It works for you. Yeah, no.
I like that.
The lummy is yummy in the tummy.
I'm kind of glad I figured that one out before or after NHB, because I feel like if I had come across that name during NHB, I'd be too embarrassed to use it later on. Because that's one of my greatest fears, is be like, I'll be streaming, and somebody be like, what? Barefoot Lurker? And I'm like, oh no, don't.
What was wrong with Barefoot Lurker?
No, I'm just saying that it's slightly embarrassing, because, it's like kind of like old, it's one of those things like, I've moved on, I've kind of grown. But not too much, because,
yeah, but you still go barefoot.
I do. So, wait, why are we talking about this?
Because you're the Barefoot Lurker.
Okay, fine, I'm Barefoot Lurker.
No, I'm just teasing you. I just thought this was interesting that you reacted to this, because that was what that was the co-host name.
that is why I did choose it because it sounded mysterious. I have no idea why I chose it. It was one of those things where it's like I came up with it right on the spot while I was on the phone. It must have been Damon. And
so you didn't even have the screen name registered yet when you said you're Barefoot Lurker?
Nope. I just totally made that up off the top of my head, and it was. I feel maybe that's why I'm kind of embarrassed about it, because it really doesn't have much meaning to me outside of, well, this was my NHB handle.
And you were lucky that it wasn't already used when you went to the to sign up for the.
Yes. I mean, it's kind of a. I don't know how. It's kind of specific.
Okay.
And part of it now, it's like.
Now, Venison is telling me to turn on Skype.
Isn't Skype on?
It's
yeah,
Skype is on, and heck, I even have sound, and we heard that whoop. So maybe we should.
Just call him?
Yeah, maybe we should just call him. There should be.
How do you call him
on
Skype now?
Skype has moved beyond the era of call buttons. Now you just think really hard. I don't know. There used to be a call button.
God, what a pain in the ass. What the fuck was that?
Okay. Call started.
Hello?
I didn't even tell it to start a call.
So you see, you thought real hard,
and the call ended. All right. Why is it? All right.
Oh, there's a button
there. But why are you coming out those speakers?
Yeah, those are the not headphone speakers.
Yeah, and it's set to.
Oh, that seems to work better.
Okay.
Well, you're in our headphones, so that's cool.
Okay, that's good. So Skype rings on the 5.1 home theater, but the sound comes out in our headphones. So you can hear us, we can hear you, and all is right with the world, I think?
Well, I found it interesting that I had to call, you had to call me because it didn't work. Oh, because it didn't work when I called you.
Well, that's Skype is racist. I think it's safe to say at this point, right?
Sure, why not?
It's a racist against all races, though.
It's speciesist.
It's speciesist. It doesn't like you. I actually had a problem with there's this guy. He's got a computer, as most people I deal with at work do have.
Right.
Just once, I'd like to get a call from someone that doesn't have a computer and doesn't use a computer. because
What the hell are you gonna do for them?
I don't know. That would be kind of weird. Hey, I just called because I'm like, okay, you got your computer? Oh, I don't use a computer. Oh, this is great. This is real easy. Just reboot it and call me in the morning. You know.
Yeah.
No, but well, this guy, his computer was well. First, he opened up a ticket because his headset stopped working, and conference calls, WebEx meetings, and things like that. And let me tell you, holy shit, do I love those tickets, because I know anything and everything about how sound works on the computer more than anyone else in the department. So I'm like, well, okay, well, because there's like 5 different places.
That's kind of sad.
There's like 5 different places you can turn off the sound.
Right.
And so usually people check 4 of them and miss the one place. So I know every place to check. Well, do we got a level meter here? Well, no. Well, do you have that selected here? Or, we check over here. And so I'm like, owning sound problems like no one. And so I connected to this guy's computer. And it takes like 5 minutes to, hey, quiet in the peanut gallery there, man. I know what I'm doing with sound. Do you see any tech problems this week?
Not yet.
Not yet. We're in the living room this week.
Except for the fact that you had to call me. I can't call you.
Well, that technically is a Skype problem, not a Gators problem.
Wait. I was able to call just fine. If you weren't able to call, that sounds like a tech problem on your end.
No, everything works here on my end.
Except for Skype calls.
Yeah, only this one.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right, whatever.
The other ones I made work fine.
Well, anyways.
Oh, and Barefoot Lurker, I think the name's sexy.
Yeah, see, that's also another problem.
I see.
Oh,
I see
wow.
No, not you personally. It's not a personal attack on you, Venison. It's just the general feet fetish thing.
Feet fetish.
Well, I mean,
you said Barefoot Lurker sounds sexy. That implies a foot fetish.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Okay,
My
I guess
God.
the lurker part is sexy, which I guess I can see.
Yeah.
She's lurking around. And the feet are out.
My God, you automatically went through the perversions there.
Well, of course. I spent my teenage years on the internet.
Keep in mind what she's been through in her years on NHB.
Not just NHB. I'm just talking all the stuff I've seen on the internet and continue to see on the internet.
Yeah. The internet.
Oh, really?
It sucks. But
it's also amazing. Oh my God, some of it is just so bizarre.
Yeah.
I love it.
Monster
porn is wonderful.
Should we? Do we need to bring up Meat Spin again this week?
Nah, that's too tame.
No, that's too tame.
Too tame.
Too tame.
Yeah.
There's only 2 dicks on the screen.
There's only 2 dicks,
and you didn't even notice one of them.
There are 2 separate bodies with their own dick. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple dicks.
Tentacles are much more erotic.
Because they can bend and stuff. Oh, all right. We're taking
and
the
there's
show.
8 of them.
We're taking the show into fun territory. This is my show now.
I was going to complain about Skype, but okay, tentacle porn. Yeah.
Do you wanna punish Skype? You wanna chain Skype test call lady up and tell her how you feel with your hands?
No.
My. Look at her getting all evil.
I used to have a show.
Yeah, sorry. Well, this is, I expected my morning stream to get all weirdly horny like it did the last couple days. And it didn't, which is fine.
And so now you have all this pent up
I've got
energy. And no place to put it.
I mean, I can start drawing things.
I've
got ideas.
You've been waiting to talk about tentacles all day.
Pretty much.
And it's been pent up until now when you have this explosive release of tentacles.
I couldn't really get into it with my friend because it was a short phone call. He had a thing to do. I had a thing to do, which is this thing. So we couldn't really go.
You couldn't do like a quickie. Oh, by the way, tentacles. Bye.
Sorry, I had my own tech problems. I forgot the tablet starts up with the mic muted. So I wasted like several minutes going, I don't know why my mic won't work.
Ah.
And then I'm like, oh, it's muted.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, this week we've made it onto the couch with a minimal amount of tech problems. But the real theme of this week's show is, anyone have any good replacements for Winamp? Because I found a small minor flaw with Winamp. It took long enough, but Winamp is technically dated or obsolete at this point.
It really is. It's so old.
It's so old, but it's one of those stubborn things that I've just not found a replacement for. Because sure, you could. I mean, heck, you don't even really have to install third-party software. Windows Media Player will play your video and audio files. I'm sorry, couldn't keep a straight face.
You did so well. It was a good, solid minute, I would say.
Windows Media Player.
Poor thing.
Oh, God. A fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Very rarely have I ever used it.
Yeah. So usually I install VLC, which is still current, because that plays just about any video file you throw at it. But I don't like it as an audio player because it's got a big screen. And whereas Winamp is this nice compact, which today the whole nice compactness of Winamp was its major downfall.
Oh yeah,
because
super compact.
Last week, due to the technical problems, I had to use my trusty old Windows 7 install disk because I corrupted my Windows 10 install to the point that after last week's show, even though when I docked the drive I could still see the contents of my Windows 10 install, it would not boot for nothing. And I had to actually run a full restore of my disk image backup of that disk in order to get Windows 10 to boot again. So last week's show, Windows 7 sucks on a 4K screen because it'll go to 4K resolution and give you tiny little things. And, there are a few... I guess technically the text is printed on those little pixels, but you can't read anything.
At least not from where we're sitting.
Oh, no. And even when I got up to the screen... Actually, this was an issue. Even as far as when 4K screens first came out, Windows 7 was still kind of current. I set up laptops that were coming with 4K screens, and the default setting when you installed Windows was 4K, and everything was so tiny. And actually, heck, Windows XP to Windows 7 changed the size of icons and fonts because over time, resolutions are getting higher as screens are getting bigger. And so Windows from version to version does do some accommodation for that. Windows 10 has more of an automated thing because I hooked up the HDMI to the TV. We got it up on the 4K display, and everything came up huge. But it was set to a high resolution. I thought it set to a low resolution, but it goes, well, you're on a 4K screen. Obviously, we're going to make your fonts and icons 3 times as big as they would be on a standard monitor, on a 1080p monitor. So that was great. I could actually read the screen. I have big buttons. I have big everything. Everything's looking good. Most things are set to automatically accommodate with those Windows settings that are in Windows 10. And then I opened up Winamp.
Yeah.
And Winamp opened up in this tiny little square in the corner of my screen. I can't see the play button. I can't see the stop button.
It was Winamp for ants.
Yeah, it was because Winamp has not been updated since what year was Winamp last updated? I don't know. I don't know.
2010.
Maybe. Now I do have another audio player called Fubar that I like to use, but I don't. Winamp is so simple, It's just got buttons. I've been using it since college. It's like, really, don't mess with this. There's no reason to mess with this. Yeah, I mean,
works great.
I always set it to the classic skin, which is the same look that I've had on my MP3 video, now FLAC mostly, but back in college it was strictly MP3s I was playing on it.
20 years ago. 98? That seems right.
Yeah, that's, oh my God.
I know, right? Time sucks.
Oh my God, it's 20 years old. It's the one constant I've had for 20 years on my computer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same here.
yeah. And so it doesn't work with 4K screens because it's not been set to, enlarge itself if Windows set to display things larger on a high resolution.
Did you try expanding it?
But the buttons are sized to a certain thing.
Yeah,
you know?
like he put on the big bento skin, but that still
Even
kept
that-
everything small and hard to read.
I found a custom skin that someone made for touch screens and tablets, and it's a little better to the point that I could actually see. Well, that's Skype.
Oh, is that Skype?
Skype likes to have a second window that goes on top of other windows.
What the fuck, Skype?
Yes.
This is why I don't use you anymore.
Skype sucks, but yeah, I got a skin that's a little better that I can actually see the buttons, and then I opened up my encoding is in a whole second instance of an even older version of winamp, and that version
That
looks
sounded like Brian.
all hell's kinds of fucked up.
There's Brian.
And speaking of all hell kinds of fucked up, we got Brian.
1, 2, 1, 2. Do you hear me?
We
I
do
hear
hear
you.
you. Yes.
Through my microphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
You sound good.
What do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, weird. I don't know why I don't hear myself.
Well, you don't really need to.
Well-
Anyway, so my first attempt to get in. Oh, that's right. Firefox doesn't work. Piece of shit. That's right. Chrome, baby, Chrome.
Use Chrome. Do you need to reopen a new browser?
Well, no, I did.
Okay.
I mean, it was just dead.
Ah.
It says,
Oh,
we're loading
man.
this ad in. Really? Why did it doesn't do? Oh, that's why it doesn't do it before, because Chrome doesn't do that. Firefox does.
Firefox doesn't work right anymore with Hangouts, and Firefox blames Chrome, and Chrome blames Firefox. So,
Right.
So nothing's gonna get done.
yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I still use Firefox for browsing, and Firefox did improve things after the point where I gave up because I can't. But I'm at the point now where I want to just have one browser. I want to just use one browser. And
Yeah.
there should be one browser that just does everything right, but there's not.
Nope.
And so I got Firefox for browsing. I got Chrome for YouTube and Hangouts, and I got Opera for something else. I forget what I even.
See, my
looked up.
wife is hardcore. She only uses Internet Explorer. She won't use that Edge shit.
Wow.
Internet Explorer only.
Good for her. Sick
She
and tired
won't
guys.
touch Firefox. I've been using it for all the time. That was my main browser. And now I have to use Chrome, and it's only loaded on this machine.
What's her reasoning for only using Internet Explorer?
That's what she uses at work.
And what's her reasoning for only using that at work?
Because that's what they've certified.
Oh, so they got
boy.
she works at one of those strict places that has decided that,
That's right.
like, 'cause
This
I
is what you will use.
there are.
I don't care if it looks like an abacus.
Internet Explorer.
Because that was the thing that PCA was pushing out, and there was a nasty email chain going around where, because the thing is that since Internet Explorer is integrated with the operating system, it gives administrators it makes it a lot easier for them to control what you do on your computer as far as
Right,
browsing goes,
right.
if they block anything else from browsing but Internet Explorer. And that resulted in some nasty replies from people that use other browsers and rely on other browsers. Well, why in the hell are you forcing us to use the most insecure piece of shit and blocking us from using, something way more secure like Firefox or Chrome? And that got a rather nasty reply about all the reasons why Internet Explorer is the most secure browser ever. And I don't
fucking uses it.
and I don't know how that guy kept a straight face while typing that email.
Exactly.
I'm not sure. I almost think he believes himself.
Oh, you
Right.
know, if you say it enough times, it becomes true.
So there is a theory out there among some there are some professionals that will insist that Internet Explorer is the most secure web browser. I wouldn't hire them personally.
Trump supporters.
In fact, I almost wondered, does this guy's supervisor know he's saying this? Could I apply for his job? Be like, hey, dude, Firefox all the way. Here's my resume. Just saying.
Right.
Right. So,
Oh,
anyways, Where were we? We were going so many different directions. So
We really were. It was fun.
So the weird thing is when I open up the encoder, it's a real old version of Winamp that has a plugin installed to it, and the plugin text sizes properly, but the Winamp windows don't. And so I have giant text in small windows.
It's
All right.
You bring up the menu, it's a bunch of giant text that are all overlapping one another. Because Windows 10 adjusts the size of fonts and icons and things like that when you go to a 4K display to automatically make things big enough you can see it. But old software doesn't play nicely with that. And so now I'm wondering, what are people using these days as a modern MP3 FLAC audio player? What
iTunes.
I guess, yeah.
Really?
I mean, if you have your music all on iTunes,
what-
you can load it and listen to it on there.
What about
Actually,
people-
I know a couple of people that will never touch iTunes, period.
Yeah, I'm
They
not
don't
touching
care,
iTunes
period.
Ever again.
Ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
iTunes is a piece of shit now.
Yeah, no.
You gotta pay for that, don't you?
No.
No.
If
But
you-
you use it with some device, an Apple device. That's how you talk to an Apple device.
I try to have iTunes installed on my machines as infrequently as possible, but every now and then, it was difficult when I had an iPhone for work purposes, because if you ever need to do anything with the phone, you needed iTunes.
Why is it now that... Okay, so some of the Windows updates don't force a reboot, but now iTunes, pretty much most of the time, after it finished installing the new update, it has to reboot the fucking computer.
Isn't this the company that brags about not needing to restart your computer every time it updates?
Yes.
Well, I guess they figure.
That's like Fox News is fair and balanced, right?
I guess they figure they could blame it on Windows and be
And,
like,
and Walmart will sell American products whenever they can, which is never.
no, they can't. They just can't. So, yeah.
Typical.
Oh, hang on a second. I gotta have to grab this.
Okay. All right. Ryan's gonna go grab that and yank on it a
How
bit.
was that?
And no, that was his phone. Yeah.
Strange ringtone.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, he does play bass, doesn't
He
he?
plays bass. He does little jam sessions, every.
That didn't sound like bass.
No, it's
No,
not.
it didn't sound like bass.
It's not like
but,
piano. Dun dun bum bum. Or
but it was
something.
that typical.
It was some kind of a
blues-
riff or something.
That typical blues thing. Da 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 da.
Yeah, he had kind of a blues riff type thing going on the phone there.
I don't know. It sounded like Chinese to me.
Oh, I mean, you are going through the Skype filter.
Yeah.
Skype is blaming
Let's
everything on
blame.
Skype.
So this guy's computer was going slow and everything.
And it was fucking Skype's fault.
And it wasn't Skype's fault at first. It was that the computer was bad. So I told this guy, look, I don't know why your headset's not working. And if I don't know why your headset's not working, ain't no one gonna know why your headset's not working.
Exactly.
But here's what I do notice. I notice not only is your headset not working, your computer's slow as shit. And you know what I got coming in next week? Brand new, fast computers. So you hang tight for a week, and we'll send you out a replacement, and we'll be good. And that's all he had to do. All he had to do was tough it out with this laptop, which had been acting like shit anyways for who knows how long. So it's like, dude, just keep, living with this, and we'll get one. Well, they sent us the wrong computer, so now I got to do an exchange.
Oh,
So now today, the guy's computer's working slower, and when it started up, Skype came up, and I never had Skype on this computer before, and I don't know what installed Skype on my.
Windows installed Skype on your computer.
I think this guy had installed Skype on his computer so long ago he forgot.
That's possible.
And it was so out of date that Skype said, "Oh hell no, we're forcing in an update." And hey, I noticed that
Skype is Microsoft now, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and a Skype and when Skype updated, it noticed, oh dear, we're not set to automatically start every time you start your computer.
Of course, because you want Skype.
How
to do
did that happen? Oh, we're so sorry we let this happen. We'll go ahead and enable that for you.
Right.
Right.
So now,
Friendly Skype.
so now I got this
Skype.
guy like, oh, where's my new computer? And it's like, hey, I'm working on it. Just uninstall Skype if you don't want Skype. Just leave me alone.
Right?
I'm working on
Jeez.
getting that computer. They screwed up. What can I do?
Yeah, because well, first it was they were late getting in, so we finally got them in. So then I get one up on my table today, and I throw the Windows 7 image on it, and it doesn't want to boot up right. And finally I fix that issue, and I get logged in, and it tells me, we're sorry, this hardware is not compatible with Windows 7. You're not going to get updates ever again because we're Microsoft and we hate you. And it's like, oh, motherfucker, sent us the wrong model laptop.
Damn it.
Yeah, because the newer line of processors, Microsoft blocks updates for Windows 7 on them to strong arm you into 10.
Oh, wow.
And
Ooh, extortion!
it doesn't even give you a reach around.
Extortion!
Yeah, exactly.
So I was talking to this guy about iTunes, and I suggested, why don't you set up a virtual window and install iTunes on that? And the guy had this convoluted. Actually, he uses Windows in VirtualBox. And so, I don't know, it got confused from there.
VirtualBox from what?
I don't know. A Linux box? I really don't know. He didn't say.
Linux
This was one of those communications on Facebook, which of course are incomplete.
You know what? I had a situation at work recently that further confirms my my theory that most Linux users are elitist pricks.
Oh, well, we knew that.
Except for the ones that are listening right now.
You guys aren't.
We're totally not talking about you. I've known plenty.
Yes, he is.
I've known plenty of nice, friendly. Heck, there's this one guy I met in a chat room that actually took time to set up this radio demodulating software to do a virtual CD4 decode of a WAV file I sent him, and he doesn't even have a quad set up in his room to really enjoy the results.
So shout out to him.
Shout out to him. It didn't work right, but it pointed me in the right direction, and one of these days I'll pick up where he left off. But
What was the guy's name?
I'd have to check the chat transcript.
Oh, well, but because the shout out actually requires a name.
He's not listening.
No,
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't. Shout out. Yay.
Shout out to that nice Linux guy.
The nice Linux guy, the one.
If you're listening right now on Linux, you're a nice Linux guy, and there can't possibly be more than one of you. So,
Right.
okay.
It's true. And you know what? And I am not a Linux guy. I've used it quite a bit, but I am not a Linux guy.
I'm not a. There's, you know what? I could learn Linux and I would still not be a Linux guy because there's no way that community would ever accept me.
Right, exactly. See?
There's
I'm not even going to go there with the guys. Just.
And the free
BSD
BSD guy is sitting in the corner going,
there's a saying among the Linux community, RTFM. And I asked them what that means, and they told me to read the fucking manual, but I can't find the entry in there for RTFM. So
I love it. I love it.
I don't know, so we hired
That's
this.
dumb.
This guy got hired for one of the teams that does programming or developing or whatever, and that team uses Macs. That's one of the few teams that uses Macs, and so they're the type that. Anytime there's a problem, my coworker who also uses a Mac gets the ticket. Like, hey, go talk to one of your buddies with those MacBooks over there because it's not working. And I could look at it and I could restart it, but that generally doesn't work.
Don't Apple products just fix themselves?
Every now and then we get a ticket.
Right.
And then if we ever have something that shows up that needs to be updated on their machine, it turns into a round of negotiations where we get to the point where it's like, we're going to block you from the network if you don't let me do something on your computer. But that's a whole other... But anyways, that's what the team uses. So the manager that hired this guy basically sent in the request, set up his account and set him up with a MacBook. And so he comes on his first day, and I give him a MacBook. And he goes, can I get one of those Lenovo laptops? And I'm like...
Siri just activated for some weird on my iPhone.
Siri knows we're talking about her.
We do that.
Siri?
The echo.
Has it gone to...
Siri wants to listen in on this.
Yeah, just we'll make sure.
Yes. Or is that the NSA, actually, since... Siri
Same.
officially doesn't have a voice activation, right?
Oh yeah. Now you hit the power. What used to be the side power button, right?
I don't know.
The home button.
Something.
If you hold the home button, the button at the bottom too long, then Siri activates. In fact, I was trying to do a screenshot where you hit the power button and the home button together.
Oh.
Which is contortionist moves on the big phone.
Right. Okay.
And somehow Siri was activated. It says, "Hey, fuck you," or something like that.
Whoa.
And Siri says, "I'm only trying to help."
Oh,
I felt bad.
So back to this guy. So he wants one of the Lenovo laptops, and I'm like, this is the weirdest request. And at first I thought,
It activated again.
At
Hello,
first I
NSA, are you there?
all right. Well, Brian's going to talk to his phone.
And asking questions like that, they will come to your house.
Well, give us a play-by-play, Brian.
We're okay here.
For
You can
now.
go to sleep, Siri. Okay.
And don't listen in. Tell not to listen in.
Put a pillow over her face now.
That's weird. I mean, it doesn't have voice activation.
That is weird. These iPhones are acting real weird.
Well, actually, this is iOS 11, and it is freaking psycho.
Is that
When
the newest
you
one?
turn the thing on, you put in your screen code,
Hey,
and then it launches some random app. Like, why did you do that?
has your phone alerted your mother that there's an emergency and you need help?
Maybe that's it.
Maybe it's no because
By the way,
like,
on the queue, we have to add Karma. Because Karma's been hitting big, like when you called me.
okay.
Okay? But that's not the only one, man. It's hitting hard. Well, I told you about my sister-in-law and her ex-husband of 45 years.
Yeah.
And, well, he's dead, and it's just Karma calling him.
And she won't attend the funeral.
Yeah, she's done with the guy.
She's done with him.
They're divorced.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
let me finish the story.
sorry.
Lenovo laptop.
Hey, Venison, you still with us?
I am. I'm waiting to cook dinner.
Good. What's for dinner?
Sirloin
Jay
cut,
Booger, could use your help right
sirloin cut pork.
What are you gonna do?
now. He's gonna
Okay,
write us-
Jonathan, back to your story. Even though I am not the host, you're the man.
Jay Booger write a scathing review of Brian interrupting me too much while I'm trying to tell a story.
I see. All right, it's a Lenovo laptop.
Oh yeah, that's right. So where was we?
Lenovo laptop.
So this guy was issued a MacBook because that's what the supervisor said he gets. That's what all his teammates use, and that's what his department uses. That's what they do there. So they're gonna hire him to use that. And he's like, "Well, can I get one of those Lenovo laptops?" And I was like, "Sure. I mean, if that's gonna work for you, I could, throw an image on one." He's like, "Oh no, I want to wipe it and put Linux on it."
Oh, jeez.
I was like,
No.
No.
You can't. Well,
I'm a Buddhist monk. No. hey, wow, we really,
Wow. Yeah, that's how. Well, I was kind of like, let me ask for you, because I always play that.
Yeah.
I'm never the bad guy. I always come to deliver the bad news that someone else has done. Like, hey, I totally.
Now, when it in your outfit, when a department requests a machine, do they get billed for it?
No, it's great. I don't have to worry about that bullshit.
Can you pretend?
I could, but the thing is though is that the Lenovo would be cheaper than the MacBook. So if we did a swap, that wouldn't be an issue. No. So anyways,
so he wanted a Lenovo instead of the MacBook,
right? He's like, could I get the
Gotcha.
Lenovo instead? And I was
even
like,
though he was hired because he did Mac.
well, he was hired to develop stuff. It doesn't matter what machine he did it on.
It's just
Oh,
the
okay.
supervisors.
It's just
let-
that his team uses MacBooks
Right.
because for them the choices are Mac or PC with Windows, and they prefer Mac mostly, and so they got him what they all use, and he's like, well, I want one of those Lenovo's, and no, you don't have to put anything on it. I'm gonna wipe it and put Linux on it. And I'm like, but the security team's not gonna like that because we got to put our system on it, our image, our antivirus software. He goes, oh, it'll be the most secure computer on your network.
Can you kick this guy in the shins and give him a wedgie?
How about
steals
the
lunch money?
plums? I like the way British say it. The
the
plums.
Well, I was thinking that, but I didn't want to be crude, I didn't want to be too mean.
The plums. But
But
yeah,
see, the British way, it doesn't sound mean. Oh, you got kicked in the plums. Oh.
But you see what I mean about Linux people being the elitist pricks. Like, nah, it'll be the most secure PC on your network. Like,
Sure,
we all don't know
absolutely.
what we're doing, dicking around with PCs and Macs. So I'm like, so basically, it came to, if we did that, you can't join it to the network. You can't access anything on the network, which would pretty much neuter it.
Yeah,
So continue with your theme of
Absolutely.
plums.
Yes.
And-
Back to the
Thank
karma
you.
issue.
Because he's all unhappy that he, and the thing is that he could set up a VM on his Mac, and that's what a lot of the people in this department do. And he's like, yeah, and that's fine. I can set up a VM, I get a Linux in there, but then I still have to deal with the Mac interface to get there, and I don't.
Yes,
It's like, oh, boo-hoo, cry me a river. I don't know how to use it either. And I have to support it.
Right.
Now go use your MacBook and leave me the fuck alone. So
Nerd.
Let's see, your job description says MacBook. Period.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what your supervisor ordered for you. This is what you get. This is what you're issued. Welcome to development. Here's your MacBook.
You need to talk to your supervisor about that, not me, because I don't give a shit.
yeah, pretty much. That's what it came down
They
to.
do not pay me to give a shit.
I mean, heck, I tried to give a shit. I gave him two choices: the MacBook or the Windows.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to give him that.
You really didn't.
Right.
Jeez.
And I actually did get to the point of asking on his behalf and telling him you could set up a Linux machine, but you're not going to be able to access our stuff with it.
Yeah, because who knows what he's going to be really doing with
I
that.
went above and beyond here.
You really did.
Yeah, and he
You,
was
you
okay.
stuck your neck out.
He still says hi to me every time we pass in the hallway.
Oh, there you go. That's something.
And,
See, no harm.
and I think to myself, oh, you, and then smile and say hi back.
You don't give him wedgie?
No,
Okay.
but I think
What?
I don't even remember his name. I just think to myself,
Linux guy.
Linux guy. Yeah, Linux prick. Yeah.
Well,
I forget his name. He's just Linux prick to me.
because
So call him
somebody
LP.
here is racist.
Just call him LP.
No, it's okay. He's white.
Whoa.
No, he's Linux.
He's Linux.
That means very white. Blonde. White.
I don't think Linux is a race. Penguin. He doesn't wear a tuxedo.
Right.
Okay, so Brian, you want to talk about karma, I believe.
Yeah, karma. So I mentioned the first karma. And then you call. Okay, so I was about ready. Well, in fact, I had called your cell phone, left a message, got nothing. I saw the link and I was going to respond to it, but just before I hit the send, you actually called, and it's not because you got my voicemail.
No,
it's because of karma.
Well, it's because you were more than a half
You were
hour
using
late.
the karma interface.
Yeah, you were in
So
your
karma
car.
totally works.
Yeah, okay.
I was in my car.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I got home. We hung up the phone. I did this and that and the other thing. Had to pee. Oh my God, I had to pee. Get a can of Coke, all this kind of stuff. Getting ready to log on, and hey, MP calls.
We were just talking about her.
She wanted to talk about exactly, and this is karma, getting that connection going.
Did she
She wanted
ask?
to talk about solar panels.
Oh, I
which
thought
was
she was
cool.
I thought she was calling because she needed her safety pins back.
Well, and then I told her the story about the safety pins.
I think
I mean,
missed a
hey,
whole
I
middle
got her on the
part here.
phone. I got to tell that story, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
What
Now
the
Madison's
hell?
going, what safety pins?
Well-
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, you already told the story once today, Brian. So let me sum it up. Brian had a weird dream that his desk was moved to the parking lot, and some guy gave him some safety pins to give to my phone. I think that sums it up beautifully.
because she helped him on a help desk call.
Right. It apparently
Because
just
she
required
used the safety pins to fix her his computer.
Now, to me, it wasn't clear. He just said that these need to be given back to her, but did he actually say anything that indicated that these were needed for the computer issue?
She used acupuncture?
It was that's possible, but no. But the implication was really strong. I mean, the words weren't there, but yeah,
it was understood.
used in the repair.
You have a third sense of understanding in your dreams, so you understood that this had to do with the computer fixing. But how
the guy walks up, and I know exactly who he is. He's the guy from the plant. Okay, he wasn't wearing an office clothes, I guess. I don't know.
But this is not a guy you've ever met before, and
not that I'm aware of. Totally out of the blue, yeah.
So you had to explain your safety pin dream to Mai Fong when she called.
Yeah, she just kind of laughed, and maybe that's when she hung up.
Okay.
Okay, so then that other call, that I stepped away for.
Yeah.
That was Neil, and Neil says hi.
Oh,
hey.
Tell him we say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. He'll call back after the show.
Okay.
Yeah, so pass that along.
Oh,
all the well wishes.
Well, it's too bad we can't patch him in.
Yeah, but...
Oh, no, I think he would have run away quickly.
Yeah, I don't think he would appreciate that.
Oh, we could totally dial him on the Skype right now.
If you really want to.
Ask him about his Hummel figurines. Does he still collect Hummel figurines, or does he just have the collection? Because he never talks about them.
No, he never does. I don't think he adds to the collection. Let's put it that way.
Okay, but he just
pretty sure he does not.
Okay, he just works on.
And I don't think he has also a Pez collection, Pez dispensers.
Really?
He should display those with the Hummels.
And he never talked about that.
That's a shame.
And I don't think he adds that to the collection. But every once in a while I'll see some Pez dispensers, and I kind of go, maybe I'll get this.
I don't even know what a Hummel is.
Wait.
You don't know what a Hummel is?
What the hell is that?
That's a white
a little
guy thing.
figurine. The
white
standard size is about 4 to 5 inches tall.
Little ceramic
painted
figurines.
Yeah,
very folk art kind of thing. German, right?
It sounds German. It's sort of like the Precious Moments figurines, but a little less schmaltzy. Those little Precious Moments.
Well, I think the Hummels are the original figurines that were very popular.
They're made in that Hummeltown, Pennsylvania, or
well, there we go. Then it's definitely
Hummelville,
German.
or I don't know. There's a town in Pennsylvania that manufactures.
Actually, I thought they were made in Germany, but you're probably right.
Well, they might have originated in Germany, but
it could have been. I thought. Well,
with a lot of Germans in Pennsylvania.
I'm basing this on what I saw in an episode of The Simpsons, and TV would never lie to me.
Never lie.
Never.
That's almost as accurate as the internet.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the internet took over for that.
Yes. So,
but the Simpsons are adept at predicting things.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
They're as good at predicting things as Nostradamus.
It's nuts.
Oh,
you spout out enough predictions over a number of years, some of them are bound to come true.
Over 1,000, maybe 2,000 episodes by now.
I think the only difference between Nostradamus and The Simpsons is that Nostradamus claimed to be making predictions. Simpsons is just a TV show that throws out a bunch of storylines, and some of them happen to. Now, keep in mind, like they talk about, like supposedly they
predicted Trump.
Yeah, but you know what? How many times has Trump talked about running for president in all those years that The Simpsons did episodes about it? So it's
it's
not
to
like
him,
it was.
Supposedly, he has said nothing about it until 2014.
Well, yeah, and Trump has never told a lie. He's
the most honest president. Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up.
Rumors of Trump running for president predate Simpsons references to President Trump. I mean, the Simpsons jokes have to do with the joke of the idea of him running, which back when he was first floating the ideas, it was like a joke. But he knew to wait till the time was right for some crazy shit like that to work.
Guess, I don't know.
I mean, it is a little crazy that the Simpsons mentioned President Trump and then it happens.
I saw that episode relatively recently, and it was like, oh, this isn't as funny anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not. But
yeah,
it
it
was,
changed from funny
became
to scary,
scary.
right?
but it wasn't a time where there were rumors or speculation. Trump has for years and years talked about running.
Well, I was following Trump on Twitter long before he officially announced he was running, and he would make some statement, and all these people lined up, kissing his ass, saying, "You got to run for president, man. We need you." Blah
Well,
blah
of
blah blah
course.
blah blah.
That's what they do to rich people. They all have kiss asses and yes men.
I don't understand
Wow.
what people see in this, pompous douchebag. Before he even was running, what good did he do?
Shh, you'll piss off June.
I don't fucking care. I'm pissed
Well,
off at him.
there's a guy, Steve
I'm
Miller.
pissed off
that
at him
told
for voting for Trump. He's partially responsible for this, so he could just
Well, I mean,
listen
your
to.
dad is also partially responsible too.
Yeah,
So.
but
And
Trump
Skylark.
didn't take Jersey, did he?
Oh, I guess that's true.
I think Jersey went to the Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, Jersey tends to go Democrat, so.
I'm just saying that in jest, anyways. Dude knows
Well,
that.
well,
Yeah, that's true.
I think is the guy Stephen Miller in the White House, one of the douchebags there.
Damn.
He
Steve Miller,
goes,
he's got a band,
"Oh
right?
yes," and Donald Trump is a self-made billionaire.
No, he's not.
No,
yeah,
he's not.
He's not.
Who
Absolutely
believes
not.
that?
Absolutely not.
In fact, the story goes that he inherited $8 billion. Wikipedia currently says he's worth maybe 3.5 or 4 billion.
Well,
So he's lost a shitload of money.
Yeah, he's not a
Oh,
very
yeah, 4
savvy
bankruptcies.
businessman. He's not, the only reason he has a fortune is because he was given a fortune. Right. He's not that he's, I mean, there are plenty of people that would have pissed it away and have nothing now. So,
And
it's
cheated
not
to
like,
rest.
it's not
Well,
like,
$8 billion takes a long time to piss away.
there are people
I
that
mean,
can do it.
Hey, MC Hammer had about $8 million, and he pissed that away because all his buddies were interested. All his buddies were interested in was partying, and so he did that. We're going to party that until the money's gone. Fortunately, he does a commercial for the Command sticker hanger thinger,
oh yeah.
and I think the guy's cool. I think he's just didn't know how to manage his money.
No,
And that happens.
it happens.
It's easy
Yeah.
enough. I mean,
Yeah. After all, he only had 8 million, not
Not
billions.
8 billion.
yeah.
So,
it's-
anyways, as you may have noticed, there's been a new addition to the living room here. Have you noticed the new addition?
it's not
uh,
me, by the way. It's not me. I'm
Yeah,
always
you were here last week, so you're already old.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, I can't hear Brian now. You just unplugged that.
Oops. 1 2 1 2. Are you back? Am I back?
No, it's not your fault, Brian.
Yes, I know.
Gators did that. It's all Gators' fault there.
Right. Do you have a taser?
No, but I
Oh,
brought other
darn.
things. I mean, I got my tablet. I could probably try to do something there.
As you see here, I got this lovely
Hey, you
AM.
want to use my mic?
Okay.
Yeah, a microphone would be
that'll
helpful.
work. Yeah. So as you can see, it's a Zenith. It's from 1942. It gets an AM and shortwave, and has a phonograph.
Nice.
I don't know if I could easily move the camera to see it, but we could try.
Well, it's at the edge of the frame.
He's gonna go pick up the camera and bring it over.
And I can't see it.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. I think he Didn't you take a video of it and post it on Facebook? So if you follow Mr. Gators on Facebook, you'll be able to find it.
If it goes to YouTube, I won't be able to see it
Oh.
because
well.
Codec and Windows 7.
Okay. Okay, I get it.
But you're on Facebook, right, Venison?
Yeah,
I think it's
Yeah, so you
directly
can
on Facebook.
you'll see it there.
I'm handing
But I
over.
Big
won't be able to
surprise!
see
It's a record player.
Yeah. No, it's record
Well,
player
it's
and
nice. It's
radio.
beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it beautiful? It's
Looks like the doors are hung upside down.
yeah. Well, they do got kind of a. Well, when you close it, it looks all right. But yeah, it's got kind of a
Right,
curvy at the
right.
bottom
Yeah.
to go with the grill there.
No, they designed it upside down. Yeah, no problem.
And I'm trying to tune in some AM right now, but it's not coming in right now. The one station that comes in strong seems to be off the air at the moment. They just realized they couldn't compete with us.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what's wrong. I have it set to phono.
That would be better if it was in another
It's still
position.
new, so he's... Oh, there we go. Still got to figure out exactly how to work it. He picked it up yesterday, so...
There we go.
Oh, very new.
Are we alone? Well, certainly we're alone, Davy. There's nobody here but you and me and George and Ted Weasley and the writing team just for now. Hello, stranger. You look great. Read the line. Read the line. Davy.
You get the idea. So it's it plays some old. The local station here reruns old radio shows at certain hours. So
Yeah.
it's pulling in broadcast straight out of the 40s right now.
Right.
Of course, we could set it over to the phono, and I could grab a record. Let's give Barroom Boogie a try. Let's do a little Barroom Boogie. I think that'd
Yeah.
be good. No one's asked you.
Our Echo thought that she needed to play it too, but
I see.
for some reason she picks up on her name really easily. Don't know why.
Yeah. There you go. Flip the switch, and the platter's turning, and we'll hit the. Oh, darn! Am I mooning the cam? No, the camera's not
No.
over there anymore.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, good.
You're
good.
fine. You're fine.
I'm not
Don't worry.
mooning the camera.
I can pick my nose and no one would know. But
Oh, that's great.
even though I just said it, yeah.
All right.
Well, you said you could, so that's just a hypothetical.
Exactly.
And it's really interesting because you see it's got these 3 buttons on each side for 6 buttons. Those are all different tone controls, and they're not variable. They're either on or off. And so you got a tone control to turn on and off for low bass, bass, alto, treble, normal voice. And so you can adjust your tone by turning those on and off. And those are a little iffy. The contacts on those are wearing out a bit, so they're basically a plastic slider with a metal rivet in it that, when slid in the right place, connects the 2 contacts on the other side that have lost their springiness over the years. So it's not a quite tight fit to make that connection anymore. So that needs a little work.
But there's sliders. Oh, just slide off and on.
They slide off and on.
Okay, and there's 8 of them?
6.
Oh, 6. So it says this is a 6-band equalizer.
Right, a 6 bands that could be on or off.
Right. It's like the World War I aircraft where you didn't have a throttle. You just had this lever that was fuel or no fuel.
Right.
Right. Pretty much. There you go.
You hear how
But it's got a nice sound, don't it?
Yeah, it's a little light when you get it through the stream, but Venison, can you hear it?
Yep.
Okay. That's got good blues sound.
Yeah, I figured you'd like a little barroom boogie.
Yeah,
That works out good. So yeah, I've been having lots of fun with that.
beautiful.
And it takes steel needles, so it's got
Okay.
that going for it. It's he was gonna fit it with a more modern cartridge that takes a diamond stylus, but we were having problems with the tone arm not swinging properly with the changer, and so first when he was doing research, he thought that it was because he was putting a lighter pressure on it, and that was messing with things. So that's when I said, well, get the original cartridge restored. Is there an option for that? And the people that did that recently came back in business.
Yay.
So he got the original cartridge restored, and then it was still having problems. And it turns out that the metal that was used in the tone arm in those connections was pot metal, and it had swelled over the years, and that was causing some binding because of it swelling out a little bit, and so he had to shave that down a little bit, and we got it working good again. So I probably could have gone with a diamond stylus, which probably would have been good because every time I'm finished playing, I wipe a little bit of black shellac off the tip of the steel.
Right, as it grinds off the record.
It's got quite the heavy tone arm with no spring action at all on it.
Right.
I could probably try to add a little spring to it because I don't think it needs to be that hard pressure, but I don't know if I'm using a type of a needle that's got a long, skinny connection off the base that is supposed to grind down in a way that you could keep using it for multiple uses. Because the other needles I have are for an acoustic player, and they're only supposed to be used for one use, which does me little good on a changer that you're supposed to stack a bunch of records on.
Right.
So, yeah. The nice thing is that it's got the refrigerator light in the turntable.
I was wondering what that was about. I saw that light and I thought,
Yeah, it takes like a little
so
night light
and it
bulb
really
up there.
goes off when you close the door.
Yeah, I'm pushing this button here, and it's got the refrigerator button. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Refrigerator button.
Yeah, you know the fridge light has a little button that the door hits to turn the light on when the door's open and turn it off when it's closed.
Yeah.
The door for the turntable's got
Yeah,
one of
because the
those buttons.
turntable's in a behind the doors in a box.
Yeah, it's in the
So
compartment there.
you want to have a light in there so you can see what's going on.
And it's got,
that's well thought out.
and the only thing I can get in the shortwave bands is a few religious stations. So
Oh yeah, that was fun listening to the Jesus pop. and
well,
stuff
that
like
was on AM actually.
Oh, was that AM?
But
Okay.
I did a little looking around on the shortwave dial, and I got in another Jesus station there, and it's got push button, which you could. I haven't quite figured that out. There are little individual dials to tune in each push button, and you set your band to the push button band. Oh, that's not this one. There we go. And then the button holds in, but I haven't been able to turn the little knobs that are behind the panel, and not all the buttons stay pushed in, which is an issue.
Oh, so each button has its own little knob.
Right. And
That's
but
interesting.
but each knob only goes over a certain span of the band, so you got to go in order from left to right on the band. But the interesting thing is, I believe this radio would come with, or was serviced by someone who had sheets of different call letters, and it's got the original call letters that this band was programmed with by the original owner. And some of these stations still exist, and some of them don't. But they are all local Massachusetts stations that were at one time tuned into
Siri
these
came
buttons.
back with this. My web search timed out to something for button has its own little knob. Have a look.
Oh no.
So it's
She's trying to
still
show you some weird
listening
porn.
to us.
Watch out.
Hi, Siri.
So, what are you feeding to Siri that she keeps trying to answer?
I have no idea.
Here, I'll take the mic.
What's activating you, Siri? What is activating Siri?
Just a question, Ryan.
The answer?
Yeah.
Brian is activating Siri.
Oh shit. Oh, Ryan, John, Gators told me that you were watching one of my morning streams.
I've watched a little bit after the fact, not live. I mean,
Okay.
your morning one is 6 a.m. at my time. Like,
Right. Yeah.
not happening.
I mean, yeah, I know you're a retired old man, but yet that does seem a bit extreme.
Yes, and I've never been a morning person. Really?
Okay.
Morning.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you do
Yeah.
one like at noon, right? Well, my time it's noon, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's noon your time.
And but I
3
haven't
my
caught
time.
that live yet. Although I could,
Wait,
it's in the
what's
right
that?
time.
What is
And-
this concept you have?
And I
called
did
morning?
figure out how to do And I mean, it's weird. There's a little triangle. You open that up. Oh, there's the chat window. Okay.
Yeah, but if you're watching the stream after the fact, you can't chat with us with what's going on. But you'll see that's where the chat is. And if you do manage to catch one live, you can chat
on
there.
the Android tablet I have. It says Whisper. Is that the same thing as chat?
Well, that's a direct message to me. I'll get that anytime.
Oh, okay.
Like, so if you want to talk to me, you can whisper me. I know who you are, so it's not like going to be like, well, who the fuck is this?
Right. And
some weirdo on the internet.
So does the iPhone also have a Whisper? Because I haven't seen Whisper anywhere.
It should. I think.
Yeah, because they're completely different. Like, hey, wait a minute, these apps should look something alike.
You would think, right? But
completely different. Of course, even between an iPad and an iPhone, apps look different.
Right. I don't use the Twitch apps, so I really can't say, Plus, I don't have the iPhone, so I use Twitch mostly on browser.
On PC or not an Android device?
Right, yeah, on PC, on the Windows. Firefox.
You have an Android device, though, too, right?
I do. I just haven't downloaded Twitch yet. I really should to see what it's like. But it was one of those moments, because that was one of my, I wouldn't say it was nasty. Like I said last week, towards the end of last week, the stream chat went kind of horny. So there's some weird conversation, and so I was like, when Gators told me that, I was like, oh no, did Brian hear some weird stuff?
Oh, nothing weirder than stuff I've told him about.
No, I mean, because
nothing weirder than my dream.
I guess. Yeah,
well,
I guess so.
Your dream didn't involve like safety pin sex, though.
Yeah, that might be hard. That might be painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to go all into it because nobody it's gonna really know.
Then again, if the dream kept going and my Fong showed you what the safety pins were for.
Oh my goodness. That's the dream you don't tell her. That's the part you leave that part out.
You leave that part out.
Yeah.
Don't go into
don't
that.
Tell
her
actually, I don't have to worry about going there because it didn't go there.
No.
Oh, thank God. No, I just. Hey, I hope to see you at the afternoon ones. I'm not doing one tomorrow, but the rest of the week.
Okay,
those ones are slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I bought a new toy to go with my radios. Because you know how I haven't equipped these for Bluetooth because that would have cost extra.
Right.
And I kind of like the vintage thing of it. But you are kind of limited with these types of radios to whatever's coming in on the AM dial, or in this case, shortwave, or 78s, which I have plenty of 78s. But even if I put Bluetooth on there, I could only transmit to one Bluetooth device at a time.
Right.
And that's why I realized, well, wait a minute. If I've got multiple antique radios that all have an AM tuner on there, if I get an AM transmitter, I could equip this whole place with AM radios and have, have them all tuned into the same station I'm transmitting on, and have, the radio system throughout the house. Who needs Sonos when you have an AM transmitter?
So how many of these are coming to the house?
Just
one for now?
Well, just one transmitter.
Oh, I see. That's right. You only need one transmitter.
To transmit all this. And then you
everywhere.
tune all the radios in.
You're going to get a little AM transmitter?
I found someone who was selling it on eBay with a buy it now or best offer of 50. I talked them down to 40. They normally sell for 80.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
You mean you don't have the Radio Shack FM transmitter?
Actually, they usually sell for 80 for 90, 89.95. FM transmitters are a dime a dozen. I mean, although most of those.
There you go.
Yeah, but
better sound quality.
But these radios don't have FM.
Right.
Yeah.
These are antiques. These are solid built quality. These are, Hey, AM sounds fun. You know what? If I got two AM transmitters, and
you get stereo going.
Yeah, I could then tune in two different spots on the dial, send left to one, right to the other, tune in two radios that sound similar to the two different stations.
I mean, you have been talking about doing something like this before, so I'm not too shocked.
I've thought about maybe getting someday a second Zenith console that is comparable, not identical, because who needs two of the exact same model, but if I got a model that had the same amplifier inside of it, but there was something different about the cabinet or the look of it, then I could, maybe sync them up with a Bluetooth input that crosses the two of them and have a stereo pair. But yeah, if I get a second AM transmitter some other day, then I could do that someday.
That's probably going to be the more likely
that
thing
is,
right now.
Technically, there is such a thing as AM stereo, and there are still some stations that broadcast with that.
Yes.
And really all that is putting the stereo signal in two bands that are close to one another. So if you get two AM radios and get a spot in the dial that is broadcasting AM stereo, you tune one in a little ahead of it, you tune one in a little behind of it, and you'll get your stereo field. And actually, a historic moment happened when Tab Patterson, one of my quad converter friends, he's friends with someone that broadcasts on an AM station.
I'm all self-conscious about my feet on the camera.
Oh, don't. It's such a wide angle. No one's looking.
Anyway, go on.
But he actually broadcasted quad on AM because it was encoded quad. So if you had AM stereo reception and ran it through a quad decoder, you could listen to quad in AM. So Brian, tell us more about Karma.
You going that far into quad?
Of course. It's like you don't
Typical.
know him.
Well, I'm not talking about getting 4 AM transmitters and setting up a
That
quad.
would be fucking nuts.
Let's get to stereo first, and then we'll think about that.
Think about it.
Well, no.
You thought about it.
I mean, the fidelity on these is warm and it's nice old timey way, but I wouldn't want to use these for serious listening. And if I'm setting up quad, I'm doing some serious listening. So it'd be one of those things.
So you're drawing the line there.
If someone was selling another pair of AM transmitters for cheap, and I found myself having 4 similar radios, I might have to do it just so that I, could say I did it. But I'm not really seriously thinking about it. But I am thinking of getting more into the antique radio collecting. Actually, when I picked up the radio, I asked the guy, where should someone start if they want to get started restoring antique radios? And he basically...
In Atwater, Kent.
What?
In Atwater, Kent.
Well, he told me to buy an All-American 5 and start with one of those. The thing with those, though, is that those are the type of radios that if you plug it in the wrong way, the chassis is hot, and you could easily electrocute yourself on one of those. I don't know why that's the starting point. I guess the circuitry is very basic and easy to work with. Also easy to kill yourself.
That's the good old time standard 5.2 radio, right?
Right, the All-American 5.
In fact, I think I had one.
AC.
Had or have?
I had one once when I was a kid. And then, transistors came out and you drop kicked that old piece of shit.
Oh.
I think it was an Admiral. I don't remember.
Just gotta remember your neutral and hot.
Yeah, well, even so, though, I think it's like, one way the chassis is hot when it's off, the other way the chassis is hot when it's on. But I think there are things you could do to make that worse. But the point is you got to be careful working on that because you could electrocute yourself working on one of these.
Never put a ground on it.
Or you put on a 3-way plug or a polarized plug so it can't go in wrong.
Right. Well, that's part of it. I mean, there are things you could do to work on them to make them safer. And I'm gonna have to do some reading up on this and be careful. And hopefully, I won't electrocute.
And rubber gloves, right?
At least I won't have to worry about my hair sticking up.
Yes.
Well, that's a plus.
Use protection.
See, and that was karma looking out for you.
Yeah. You're gonna be electrocuting yourself in a future hobby, so let's just get rid of that hair right now. Because the hair sticking up look just ain't cool.
Now, how bad is your geekiness when you gotta wear a rubber to operate a radio?
Jeez.
Dang, Venison, you really
I like
pulled a
radios.
boner.
I like radios, but not that much.
No, don't stick it in.
No, but they're actually...
Don't stick it in there. No.
Not in the tubes.
Actually, my timing is perfect because they're having there's a New England group of antique
Radio
radio
fuckers?
collectors.
Radio fuckers?
No, they're in Jersey.
Oh, okay.
But no, New England.
Wow.
There's the group of the New England Radio Preservation Society. I don't know. I made up that name, but there's something New England. That there's a group of them, and they're having their big annual meet this upcoming Sunday
Oh
in Nashua.
no! I spilled my drink.
Okay.
Nashua, New Hampshire.
Yeah. Venison, could you please describe the drink you just spilled?
I'm sorry. I don't know why it was so funny. It just tickled me.
Yeah. It wasn't a full glass, but
Close.
about a third of a glass
Oh.
of my vodka and Mountain Dew mix.
Are you lapping it up off the floor now? I mean, that's alcohol
good
abuse right there.
vodka.
No,
on, on all fours. Yeah.
No, it didn't fall off the table yet, but at least it missed the keyboard.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Well, hey, that's all right. That's a plus.
That's karma.
There you go.
right?
Karma's looking out for you, buddy.
The keyboard gets drunk. You won't believe the shit it starts typing.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you really, especially this one. This keyboard is nuts.
Well, speaking of venison and drinking, we do try to do a thing here with the check-in segment of the show, and I was thinking this would be a good chance for us to check in with Venison because he's been on this show for years, and we've known Venison for years. But how much do we really know about Venison? And Venison,
You really won't know.
you've been doing a lot of looking back over your years of doing the Venison Stew show, because you're down to what 2 weeks left in New Jersey.
No, week and a half.
Week
We
and
leave
a-
on the 7th.
Okay, leave on the 7th.
We got the date. We got the truck, and I got starting tomorrow.
You're saying we? It's what you got a mouse with you?
He's got a friend in Ohio that has got a spare room that's helping him move.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the friends come out to New Jersey
To get
with
me
a truck?
The truck. We
and
load
you
up
guys
the
can
truck.
load it up and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's during the week.
With what I can carry. Everything else gets left behind.
Well, you're
And
taking
let those assholes clean it up.
Well, you're renting a
Right.
truck though, right?
Yeah, 17-foot U-Haul.
All right.
So, you see, I was hoping it was going to be a weekend, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But, if you can, I'm thinking about that Windows 7 laptop, hint, hint.
Yeah.
You come down this weekend and help me back.
This weekend's a little last minute with the the radio show, and
There we go.
when I'm away from the internet for a weekend, like this past weekend, I'm not allowed to for another weekend. Oh,
Someone's whipped.
hey,
Oh, well.
careful now.
It's not
Scratch
me,
that
by the way.
laptop.
Say it's fine if you want to go. I don't care. No, I think it's nice, but I understand. I know. I
It's
understand.
just for a day. He's only in Massachusetts. You can drive down here in the morning, be back by evening.
I
I'm
don't
not
know-
the one that has
No,
to be
no,
convinced.
no. I don't even know if I'm going to have the computer ready by then. I still got to find a hard drive for it. I got to find the Windows installed disk and set everything up. But I definitely will ship that out to you in Ohio. I mean, I'll get that Windows 7 computer to you. I just need a chance to set it up.
What part of Ohio were we looking at?
I'm not sure, but I think it's somewhere near Columbus.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah. That's what's kind of smack dab in the middle, all right?
Yeah,
do they know?
I think so.
Do they know anything about pizza?
Apparently not very well, from what I've
Do you
been
have
gathering.
the skills? Do you have the skills to bring them that?
Oh yeah, we got the skills, but it's
He's
a
got a
matter of
phone.
will they accept it. Yeah, the pizza hunting is going to suck.
My understanding, and I don't know if this is accurate or if it was a regional thing, but my dad or my parents would head out to the Trans Am Nationals every year, because my dad's one of those people that likes to look at cars that are wiped with a diaper, and so
microfiber mixed with poop.
Not a used diaper.
Oh, okay, a new one. They don't use they don't use microfiber in his group.
I don't know what they. I haven't been keeping track.
It gives it an old classic look.
I just like the ones that have 8-track decks in them because you can listen to 8 tracks. But no, anyways, I guess I ordered a pizza one time, or no, I don't think it was them. Someone else was talking about in Ohio ordering a pizza, and the pizza was round. And you would think that, with a round thing that it's just natural to cut it into slices. But no, they cut it into squares, even though it was a round pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, totally don't know how to do it.
He mentioned something about that. It's a pizza place that, has halfway decent pizza, cuts it into 12 slices.
Those are some skinny slices.
Why? I don't know.
You could ask them to cut it into 8. They probably would if you asked them.
You were demanded.
Demand, ask politely, whatever.
Oh, demand. It's like, what the hell is a 12 slice bullshit?
Much more
pizzas are
complicated.
8. Cut that shit out.
Well, the 12 slice allows people to better, fine tune the quantity. Because you cut in 8 slices, at some point people are having half slices, where if you just start with small slices, you eat more small slices.
So you fold it up and eat it like that.
Well, you could take 2 slices.
It's the size of consumption. I mean, I should talk. I had, Pizza Hut pizza from, one of those Pizza Huts at a Target store, and they had the personal pans. I had that for lunch today. So there's that karma again. This time, I'm charging up the karma points.
Still not the worst pizza you ever had, though, because you told me about the time that you and the missus decided to check out that lovely establishment that is known far and wide for their pizza called Chuck E. Cheese. And I'm still trying to imagine you and your wife setting foot in a Chuck E. Cheese and not immediately determining that you should turn around and walk out. But...
yeah, but at least they didn't jerk off in their pizza.
We were a little bit early and we really weren't getting it yet. Even though we could see all those tubes. The kids crawl through and all that kind of stuff.
The whistles,
the skee ball, the giant mouse.
This didn't tip you off to the fact that you were in a kids' establishment?
Hey, what do we know? We don't have kids.
Hey, but at least, they didn't, jerk off in their pizzas.
What?
We had that happen here.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Now, does that make it good or make it bad?
Yeah, because we had that problem here where some employee would deliver the pizzas, but before he got there, he would sit there and whack off into them, and jizz all over his pizza.
I guess
so it looks a little extra glazed.
Why do you know about this?
It was him.
Was in the news.
In the news?
Of course that would be on the news. Oh, that's so gross. But I guess it would be, as to your question, Brian, if it's worse or better, I guess it would depend on if you like anchovies.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so I got some free gift from our friends at Amazon.
Amazon sending you shit for free now?
Doesn't work with the headphones very good.
Okay, it's a hat. I take it. Okay.
Brian put a box on his head.
Okay.
And you see what it says? Can you read it?
Cowboy hat.
Yes, a cowboy hat from Amazon.
How pleasant.
So
and it has directions. So, assembly instructions. Carefully place the box on cowboy. 2, take note of surrounding objects. 3, yeehaw.
Wow.
So that's the story.
They have employed some of the people from Woot to design their new boxes. Apparently,
Basically.
That might be. That
Yeah.
might be.
that is
So
classic Woot
and then I got
humor
this
right
other.
there.
I noticed this other box has. This other box has no instructions,
No instructions.
but apparently it's a
kitty
mask.
face.
There you go.
Little kitty face.
Some assembly
And
required.
it does have instructions. Adult supervision required.
Oh.
Scissors are sharp. Use caution.
Well, okay, so they're safe.
So you
I
just
like-
Oh, and you can put little holes. I guess you have to supply your own string.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, that's like I remember Frosted Flakes had a spiral tail that you could cut off the back of the box with the instructions that you're supposed to, put a string in the end of it and hang it from like your ceiling or whatever, so it'd be like this dangling tiger tail. My brother thought that you're supposed to take the tab and stick it in your butt so that you had like a tiger tail.
I'm not surprised
What? So
by
he
that.
dropped his pants and put a stick in his butt?
Oh, he didn't actually do this. He just suggested he was going to do that.
Okay.
Once he went into the room with the box and the scissors and closed the door, what happened behind that door, I don't want to know. But yeah, I know he thought that would be.
I may have to ask him about this.
He did actually.
Greg,
take the
are
box.
you a furry?
I,
Because I heard you
I've
try to
got
stick some
one
tail in your
better.
ass.
He might not even remember this at this
Yeah,
point.
probably
But I
not.
remember, and that's the thing is that when you see a tail and there's like a hole in the end of it, like your thought is it's a tail to cut out to wear,
Yeah.
and then you think about it and like,
Why would you
wait,
hang it up?
why would you? Yeah, and then you realize, well, this would be silly to stick a tail in your butt. But
No, you just like tape it to your pants or something.
Yeah,
like that. You
yeah, I
don't
guess-
stick it in your butt. That's
Well,
all. That's not where tails
that's
originates.
the easiest way to adhere it.
No, you could like use string and tie it around your waist.
Well, what if you don't have string?
You have tape and you can stick it on your pants.
Mom was always yelling at us not to use her tape.
Then tuck it in the waistband of your pants. And wiggle your butt and oh look, I'm a tiger.
There's a way to do it, yes.
I don't know. This was
I
Greg's
spent
idea.
way too much time pretending to be an animal as a kid, and it's kind of.
I've always wanted a
bored me a
prehensile
little.
tail.
I know, wouldn't it be fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Like a monkey
Yeah,
tail?
so, anyways,
Hell yeah.
we were gonna check in.
Oh,
with,
wait! I got one better. Cereal boxes as a kid. Captain Crunch actually had a cutout for a Captain Crunch lookalike, thing.
Oh,
Where it had, they had the eyes and the the pushy eyebrows.
oh my god.
And you would cut it out and put it on your face, and you look like Captain Crunch.
It sounds terrifying.
I did, and I put these things on, and went to my friend's house next door. Knocked on the door, took one look at me, and almost died laughing.
Oh man, that's nice. Yeah, they didn't have that. They had the mazes and stuff like that on the back of the box. I don't remember the tail, but that might have been earlier.
I don't know. I forget when that was, but that was Greg's idea. You could ask.
You
him about it
could
if
go to
want.
these different places like In-N-Out Burger,
Mhm.
and they have that paper hat you can put on, you can get and put on,
Yeah.
or Burger King, the
Oh,
crown,
the crown.
etc.
Yeah.
I was at In-N-Out Burger, and these two guys, businessmen, serious businessmen, they had to be in their 40s, and they got the In-N-Out hat, and they put them on and wore them, and I think they took pictures of each other.
That's
I do
awesome.
it.
Good for them. You
Yeah.
shouldn't.
I definitely
Absolutely.
do it.
You shouldn't lose the whimsy in your life. Then
Absolutely.
That's
That's
what
right.
truly makes you old.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Cool. No, we wore Burger King crowns for Spartan Spirit senior year because we were the Blue Royals.
We did for senior year
So
too.
we got the Burger King crowns and painted them blue. because this is like school spirit week type thing, Spartan spirit,
Yeah.
and each class, the freshmen would be red, sophomores are always yellow, juniors. No, let's see. Well, no. Freshmen were green, sophomores were yellow, juniors are red, seniors are blue, and you came up with a theme that went with your color. So, like,
Right.
the red dot special, or one year the sophomores were the yellow taxis. Someone suggested yellow snow one year. No one went with that.
No, of course
No.
not. How do you dress up like that?
Well, one year they were.
Don't go where it's gusty. Don't you eat that yellow snow.
We wanted to be Red Dog our junior year. That was back when Red Dog was a fairly new brand of beer, which was also the cheapest beer you could ever buy.
Wow.
And
not,
it tasted,
not like a red video camera, though.
no,
Cheaper than Rolling Rock?
Do you know what a red video camera is?
like a blue video camera, but it's red.
In fact, when you see it, it looks like a square box, and it's got in huge letters the word red, R-E-D.
Oh, okay. Well, makes sense.
The cheapest one, I think, goes for $20,000.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to buy two, but
Yes, right. But since you said that, of course, that's
Right,
then they
yeah.
add the microphones, all this
Of
hardware and
course.
whatever.
The
So
add-ons.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's gonna be $30,000 at least by the time you get it working.
It's good enough for the car, but
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
anyways, so venison. How long have you been doing the venison stew show? Because we did want to kind of check in with you and take a look back at that, because I don't know a whole lot about the history of your show, or even how long you've been doing it.
15 years.
15.
This May.
And now, did you start with Wild Bunch? I know you were on Wild Bunch for a long time.
No. Believe it or not, started with social crime.
So Pedge discovered you too?
Yeah. Then Bart came along and ruined it. But oh well. But by that time, there was New Era Radio. It's like, and then Andre came up with, I got the server. I'm doing nothing with it. You want to play with it? And we kind of started dual broadcasts from there with New Era, and Andre Louis Radio, which later on became TBRN. And while we were on Andre Louis Radio, those were the real fun days.
And the server runs on Linux, right?
No.
Just asking.
I love that whole no. But now did Pedge find you, or did you find Pedge?
I don't really know. I think we found each other.
Well, I mean, I don't find that hard to believe, because if there's one thing we know about Pedge, it's
I like big fat men with big fat cocks. I look them in my mouth.
and so
Goodness.
somehow
Hey.
So when you got on, did you have a regular schedule, like every week or something?
Yep. But the first broadcast I did was on an independent server, which he went in just for the hell of it, and did my first show there. And apparently a lot of people heard it and liked it, including Hedge.
And how long did the show run? Number of hours per episode.
Oh, 2 hours.
So you did a 2-hour show every week.
Yep.
And was it always a mixture of talk and music, or was it primarily talk, primarily music in the early?
Primarily talk, with some music.
And were you solo, or were you co-hosting with someone?
Solo.
You just had something to say?
Always solo, but otherwise in case somebody stopped by. And at that time, I always had something to say, because I led a very interesting life. So I had a lot of things, a lot of memories to to relate.
Now,
Some of them were great.
when you do your live shows, do you record them, or are they all just...
They're live.
Ah, you're not an archivist.
Yeah, I did run archives, but station problems, changing servers, changing owners, and blah blah, killed the archives. And just now never got around to uploading them yet.
So you have some
One had a
recordings
few.
from them.
Oh yeah, I got all the recordings.
Oh, you do? Okay, so you do have an archive, just not where anybody else can get them, shall we say?
Or not extensive
Yeah.
or complete.
No,
Yeah,
they're
no, I think
complete.
that's cool.
Oh.
Now,
They're
so was
complete.
this strictly a audio stream from your server?
Yep. No,
You
audio
didn't
stream.
have
My
Skype or anything
audio,
else?
wait! Audio stream from my computer, to their server, and we bring up messengers and Skype on that account.
Gotcha.
Now, you used to do the shows in the lab. I've heard you refer to the lab. Did that always start, or that built up over time?
That was a fun place. The lab was the place. The lab was the shit. The lab had everything. I could connect every device there. Cassette recorders, turntables, the ham radios, shortwave radios, everything.
And for those don't know what we're talking about, the lab was basically your setup in your basement.
Yeah, the World Domination Center, version 2.0. that was so much fun until the floods and the loss of electricity killed it.
Now there was.
Are you moving that equipment with you?
Huh?
Are you move that equipment with you to Ohio?
Well, that's just it. A lot of the equipment, has been sold or no longer functions. But the equipment that does work, I'm taking with me into Ohio.
Right. Okay, but so a lot of that equipment is gone. Or it's no good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a shame.
Oh wait. Did I? Yeah. Okay. I put it on here. Give me the right. And plug it in.
I think he's plugging in his VCR.
Oh, hey, cool.
No, not VCR.
No, beta.
Right.
Never.
No, it was too superior to VHS.
Not really.
Actually, yeah. It was...
No, video quality wise, maybe, but time wise, no.
Well, audio wise, it was also superior. It did stereo before VHS was doing stereo.
Yeah, but 5.5 hour tapes versus 6 hour tapes. It was much more convenient.
Quantity, quality. No, but so working with Pedge or associating with Pedge in the early days must have been. I've heard stories about him. I've had my dealings with him. How long were you on Social Crime?
Oh God, I don't remember fully. I think it was about a year.
How did that end?
I told B Forge about it. That's right. Contacted him after almost, about 15 years or so of being out of contact. And, we caught up and said, hey, I'm doing this radio show, on this network and blah, blah, blah. Come and take a look and, join us in the chat room or something. And he came in and one night he got real drunk and let on to Pedge that I was, doing something other with broadcasting on the Andre Lewis server, and Pedge got mad.
He doesn't like competition.
Or something like that.
But how did that
Right.
interfere with your own show, though? I mean, were you preempting your show by doing this other show?
No.
He was
It did
simulcasting.
nothing with the show. I was simulcast. Well, not
Oh,
even
so
really
that was even-
simulcasting it.
Some
If he
people are
was a total
sensitive
would
to
have
that.
known, right?
You know, basically, some people don't like you broadcasting, other than them.
There's some personalities like Damon that are like you're
Mojo Radio. Mojo.
they're well, a lot of the especially people that are in charge of the stations or running the stations, they're competitive with the other streams that are out there. And the earlier days of internet broadcasting was not like it is now. I mean, now there's just no listening and there's no counts. And so what is there really to be competitive over? But back then, I mean, you could hit triple digits. So that was and that was an accomplishment at those triple digits. So there was definitely a spirit of competition among the different personalities involved.
But when you simulcast your show, it's strictly your content, right, Venison?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
and
it should have been none of
occasionally-
their fucking business.
And
as far as I'm concerned.
occasionally, I will play the IDs of whoever I'm broadcasting on.
Right.
and that cross promotes. But you're right in one sense. Who cares if you're simulcasting? But Pedge's server, Pedge had a policy that he doesn't. If you're going to stream on his server, you're going to be exclusive to him.
I don't.
And
I
he
don't
doesn't
know
want
if
you
he
to
had
promote
the
another server. So.
Right.
I don't know
That
if he
part
had
I
that policy.
sort of get. but it's-
Wait! I
Sorry.
don't know if he had that policy at the beginning. He just he just kind of went that way.
He's
Oh, I
I don't
got
think-
you. I got you.
But he didn't do that in the beginning.
Well, it's like sometimes the reason policies get put in place is because it's like the time that a group of my friends went thumbing through the student handbook in high school and realized nowhere in there was there any words to the effect of you are not allowed to have a pizza delivered to the school during lunch. And I think the following year, the handbook probably had some verbiage to that effect in there because they successfully had a pizza delivered to the school.
Nice.
So basically, it sounds to me like Pedge found out you were streaming other places, and he got pissed off.
So then he set the rule. Yeah.
Then
He got pissed off, and and because of divorce, I got kicked off the station.
See, that's rather extreme.
Yeah,
He just lost some content.
Now, here's the thing about that, okay? Which I found kind of funny. Like one of the jobs that I had, at electronics repair store, it got to a point where I was doing a hell of a lot of repairs, more than they've been seen in years. And back to Boston, they told me, you're making more money now than we've ever done in 15 years. Good job. We're bringing all kinds of warranty accounts. But I still knocked them out. All right, I was handling it. Apparently nobody else here could. But the thing was, he's an idiot. He sold the store to somebody else and kept the building. So they would pay rent so he could retire comfortably. But this person he sold the store to had his mistress come down to New Jersey to handle the store, to get her out of the way, to call her whenever he wanted to. That got her pissed off, made her a bad boss. She went in and yelled at me a lot, for shit that I wasn't responsible for. I think she might have been a bit crazy, but it got to a point, even though we had a thing where we couldn't be fired for a year, no matter what we did. She got to the point where I was ready to cold cock her. I was about ready to punch her right square in the mouth. But aside, that's enough. I'm not having it. I'm out. And I told her there in the front of the store, in front of customers, you won't be able to handle the shit I've handled. You don't know what you have. So I hope that your boss doesn't knock the shit out of you, because I'm out of here. And sure enough, 3 months later, they shut down because they got overwhelmed. They couldn't handle the work. None of the techs is even handling my test jigs that I made. Now then, social crime. Okay, go there. Now, one of the things we started there was this ventrilo chat. Where a bunch of people came in and became part of the show. And it was wild. It was great. It was spectacular. It was total, for lack of a better way to put it, chaos. Remember those days, Johnny?
Yeah, we certainly had some chaos on our show, too, back in the day.
And it was fun. It was loads of fun. But after he fired, but the thing was, though, it seems pretty much that I was the key ingredient of all that. So when he fired me and I left, that chat show turned to shit. And eventually he shut it down.
Well, you had to have someone that would steer a controlled chaos like that, and it sounds like you were doing a good job with that. And then, when there was no one to steer the ship,
it ran aground.
Yeah, as things tend to do.
So I had my joy in that revenge. But that's just the way it was.
Well, it's weird how heck in my time I wasn't around for those earlier days, but I've known of Pedge, I've known Damon. These people they keep kicking around, and they all seem to never be able to get along, but they never seem to go away, and it's just. Although whatever happens,
at some point you just say, hey, you know what? I just have to go out and get my own server.
Right. Well,
and set up a web page with the link to it.
Well, like all things in life, it's a balancing act, because if everyone has their own server, what fun is that? But if you try to have everyone on the same server, then you got too much clashing and infighting, and it's just which is a shame. Absolutely a shame. All the infighting I've seen in my years being.
The internet. Another quickie project we had, the Internet Radio Alliance. Started out as a good idea, but too many complaints, infighting, and people at each other's throats.
Well,
idea died.
Even when I met Johnny, he would talk about the show with these dudes.
The station and Damon,
and then you got the forum, and everybody's pissing on each other. It's like, what good is this?
Well, you weren't there. You didn't understand.
Well, I know, but you would tell those stories, and you kind of go, why? I wouldn't put up with that shit.
Well, there's a difference between shitting on each other and, good-natured teasing and.
Well,
and I understand that, but this sounded beyond.
Well, it was the politics stuff. It was the
I didn't go deep into politics.
The station politics is the thing that is a lot of bullshit. And the thing is, though, is that keep in mind, the reason I'm on NHB is not because I wanted to leech off their servers because I wanted to do a show. It's because I was a fan of the station and I believed in what they were doing, and I wanted to be a part of that. And there were a lot of parts I liked, and I liked it enough to put up with the shit that came with it.
Exactly.
Except for the times that I didn't.
Right.
Right.
I found that fascinating.
Yeah.
I found that fascinating because when you really get down to it, when you bring up a radio server and have shows broadcast on it, that's all you need to do. Maybe put up a web page that says these shows are on. These are the times. And the other stuff, like forums, and all like that, are just additions, inconsequential. Right. So whatever happens there,
right?
Just let it go. Just let it do it. You don't have to be involved in it. But the station itself, all it is, you got broadcasters to come on, and do their thing the way they want to do it, and that's it. Simple.
I've done a lot of distributed computing projects. Looking for little green man, data from a big telescope or other scientific projects.
All right.
And there's all these different teams, and they all have forums and blah blah blah. Try to kind of get things going, and so I have this little team, and there's probably a dozen people that are still doing it. But in the we use a Yahoo group because it's free. It sucks, but it's free.
Right.
Right.
And there's if you include me, there's only 3 people that that chatted up. In fact, lately I haven't been going in there. I read what my brother posts some, and this other guy posts some, so it's mostly just those 2 guys, and they're they keep doing the yay rah rah what they're doing. Fortunately, there's no infighting.
Well,
now we had discussing getting a real forum, but I kind of go, okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that, but I do not want to administer it.
Oh yeah, no, that part sucks. Administration, moderators.
Let's see, root canal or monitoring a forum. I'll take the root canal.
Then it becomes a job, and I'd rather not have my hobbies become jobs.
Exactly.
Because you really do have to, keep a leash on things. Because then you could try to come in with the stance of I believe in freedom of speech. So I'll just set this thing up, and what happens, and then you get 20,000 spam bops in one night, and you got.
But the good thing is that we're on this Yahoo e-group, which hardly anybody uses anymore. It still works. Yahoo still works.
The problem with Yahoo
is it doesn't go in. It doesn't get into bots. People are enjoying it and chiming in.
Well, the problem with the Yahoo groups, though, what really fucked that up was all the advertising that was popping up and getting annoying, and that pissed people off enough to drive membership away from those groups.
Absolutely.
I mean, Yahoo just shot themselves in the foot with their advertising.
Right. And now they've toned that back. So. Yeah, along the side, you've got some advertising that you can ignore, like Yahoo email. Advertising on the side that you can ignore.
I remember.
As long as you're okay with that, fine. But if it goes into pop-ups, hey, I'm out of here.
Yeah, and they would do that I remember one time I was checking my email, and this musical advertising animated jingle for eBay starts coming up in front of my email I'm reading. What the that stopped within 24 hours.
Sure.
Because it was like, what? You get rid of this or I am gone. You know how many free mail services there are out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the biggest one. Why are you screwing it up?
Yeah. And they did screw it up eventually, slowly. But, at this point,
there was that pop-up that would come up all the time, and you got sick of it. I think that's when you quit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a...
the security setting.
The security... that just went away.
I held out a long time for that because I
know, and that was going on for a long time. And then
I thought
it's gone now. So what was that about? Why did it take so long to realize
it's too late?
Happening?
Let me tell you, I was loyal to Yahoo for so long, and I really held out for that because I was like, this will go away eventually. They'll eventually get rid of it. They have to eventually get rid of this. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I cannot stand every fucking email telling them, no, I don't want to enable that security. They want you to enable a security setting that would block other third-party email services from checking it except for theirs, which means I would have to install the Yahoo app on my phone to check my Yahoo mail. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to just use the phone's mail app.
Yeah, I use the phone's mail app. And, Yeah, I have the Google Mail thing on there, and I have Yahoo's Mail thing on there, but I never use it
Yeah, I don't want to
because it
use
combines all
those.
together. In fact, like there's this one email address I have that doesn't allow you to create folders or anything like that. So, if I got an email I want to save to a folder, I pull it up and tell it to save it to my Yahoo account. And that works. It's like, holy
There you go.
shit. Who would have
Now-
thought?
We're down to the last 10 minutes here. I did want to, do a little more.
Actually, I
check
did
again.
want to add one other thing to the whole, Ben and the Stew and the competition between networks thing.
Yeah.
There was one thing I thought was hysterical that happened. Is when we got contacted. It was on a techno frag because Wild Bunch destroyed itself. And we got visited by these people called the LUE. LUE, Life, Universe, and Everything. And apparently they go around once in a while and hit upon, internet radio station at random and invade it. All of a sudden, everybody, that's there, they got a couple thousand people. Everybody that's there tunes in, and completely uses up all their slots, all their listener slots. And then, they find their messenger and just send thousands of messages.
So
silly
they tried to
stuff
inundate
like
your
that.
server and shut it down effectively.
Yeah, they do it as a joke. And they hit us one time. And we only had 300 slot server. All of the servers were filled. 300 listeners. And the messengers will start piling up, but instead of all the other people who got pissed off at them, we relished it. We got into it. We were like, hey, who are you guys?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Welcome.
To me. May as well, right?
Yeah, it was like, hey, welcome. Have fun. We're having a good time. You have a good time. Like, oh yeah. They got into it, and at that time, I guess some people started realizing what was going on over here, because they even had Damon coming over and saying, you guys are you guys are faking it. You guys are running up your numbers.
Oh,
like,
no.
no.
300 counts. Of course, Damon would bitch you about
Sure.
that.
Yeah, we went on and bought a whole bunch of
Everybody,
users from
Edge,
the Chinese group.
wait, man.
I was chiming in with you.
Like I said, and only that, Damon came in and complained. Pedge came in and complained, like, what the fuck are you doing over there? And a couple other people came in and said, what the hell? And these were all true numbers. These were, like all regular IPs. And, they couldn't understand it. But we were loving it. It got to a point where,
But could your regular listeners get in, though?
Oh, the regular listeners were there.
They were already in.
there.
Okay, so they got in. They were fine. Okay.
Yeah, the thing is, they got into it so much, they had two of their people actually started broadcasting on our network. And they were, this one show, would get like about 180, almost 200 listeners. And, which pissed off the other networks to no end.
Well, there was
Yeah,
always a
that's bizarre.
rivalry.
Yeah.
But
It's not like a group that wanted a spot.
that,
They just came in, right?
yeah.
They just came in.
Well, that reminds me of the barrel roll people. That there was a period of time back when I was living in Maine that these people would prank us. Like a group of them would all take turns calling in, and they'd be like, "Hey, do a barrel roll. Do a barrel
That's
roll."
them.
Oh, that was
That
them.
was them.
Yeah.
They do the same thing to us.
Oh.
I still never understood what a power roll
Oh,
was.
they hit us. Yeah. Well, that was from Star Fox. It was a phrase from Star Fox, do a
Yeah.
barrel roll, do a barrel roll. And so we decided, hey, the next time they do this, we're going to get them, because they would call in using the 877 number, which would be directed to whoever was hosting or the Skype number. And the thing is, though, we could route that number wherever we wanted to. So we basically set a code phrase, Operation Barrel Roll, and if we said that, Rico would know to check the caller IDs, find out who was calling, one of the people who was calling it, route the 877 number to that person, so that now one of the prankers would have their phone ringing off the hook with a bunch of people going, do a barrel roll, do a barrel roll. No, it's me, you idiots.
That's great.
The only sad thing was we
great.
couldn't hear what actually was happening on the phone line.
Right.
But we knew it was happening. So that was our...
the chaos just stopped.
Yeah. So, now, Venison, what was I going to ask? Now, I think you have a story you referenced to the day the shelf fell or something like that in the lab.
Yeah. That was a bit of a problem. Oh my God.
Right in the middle of a show, right?
Yep. I was in there going along in my usual way, and all of a sudden, bam! The shelf came down, and oh God, a lot happened. The shelf came down. My videotapes and cassette tapes were all over the place, all over the table. There was a gigantic spark because it also fell on the control panel, which was a big piece of panel board with all kinds of switches, meters, and everything else on it. That controlled everything down there. And it just sparked and just boom, and the power went out.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
I was completely off air at that point.
And was that when I guess, your parents are still around at that point? Or
Oh yeah.
So your dad's like, where's the fucking power, man?
No, it only hit the basement.
Oh, okay.
And I put the power up before anything else could happen.
Ah.
So this is like the literal definition of dead air.
Yeah, I got knocked off the air that quick, and it took about 10 minutes to get back on. It's like oh shit, stored outbox, damn it. Like I said, I tried to get back on, but it didn't work.
Dang.
So now the future Venison Stew, you're going to still be able to do shows from Ohio, I take it?
Apparently, yeah, because apparently I will have internet, Wi-Fi at the very least. Let me send that. Come on. Select. Okay, I'm trying to text someone too. Yeah, so we will be on. This might take a few days, to get everything straight.
Right.
And I'll be broadcasting from Ohio. Oh, by the way, did you receive a picture from Skype?
I do have a number 1 lit on my Skype icon, so let me take a look if it'll let me see. Oh, if I click here. Yes, I see a picture of a couch TV. Is this the basement back in the day?
That's half of the lab. I can't send the other one, but for some reason my Skype locked up.
All right, let's we're gonna try to screen share that window here if this will.
Yeah, the first half can show you all the media control center, all the media stuff, computers, and the bench for building things. And on the left side, which I can't send right now because Skype locked up on me, fucking nay. has all the ham radio equipment.
Huh.
And the various other shelves for manuals and other equipment and stuff like that, and test equipment down there on the bottom.
I'm working on sharing that, but things aren't cooperating. Oh, here we go. So now if I set that full screen, because it wouldn't let me select the window. Now if I set that full screen, now if I, okay, and if we get Skype out of the way, thank you Skype for sucking so bad. So there, yeah, that's the picture there. That would look like quite the hangout.
It's only about half of it. And yes, that was definitely the hangout, because people would come over just to hang out because of all that equipment.
So in the front, is that the back of a couch?
Yep. The gray couch was the couch. The couch. Where
So it's a big TV
everything went
screen
on.
on the left, right? Is that right?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
monitor?
Oh, yeah.
And
Great
then the
point.
shelf is up above
Yep.
in the background? Yeah. Good one.
Oh yeah,
And
that'll
so
take
that's
a
the
bunch
shelf
out.
that collapsed.
Yep.
Yahoo. Or boohoo.
I can't remember now. Damn, I closed it. If the control panel's there or not.
Yeah, I don't see a control panel there. No, I want to stop the screen share, but you're blocking the button. Okay, there we go. But on that note,
that's after the control. That's after the shelf collapsed, and the one we got there, the control panel's gone, so we got just basic services there.
yeah, you never did get the control panel back up again, as I understand it.
No, too much work. The wiring back there was a hodgepodge.
Well, anyways, be sure to plug your show, though, so everyone knows when to tune in if they don't already know.
Oh, okay. Venison Stew. Every Tuesday and Friday at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. On Tuesday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. On Friday on TPRN.
All right, and yeah, so be interesting to see the future of that show as changes come up, but changes could...
I missed my lab. Look at all that stuff.
I know.
I had to play with. Oh my God! And I built all kind of electronic circuits there. Oh God! Prepared so much equipment there, and heard so much great stuff on that stereo system. That's one of those Dynaco's 7-channel surround sound systems. Along with an SAE FM tuner, incredible tuner. I was able to receive stuff from Virginia Beach on that thing.
That's impressive. An FM?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
On FM.
we got lots more future chapters of Venison Stew ahead of us.
And those speakers. Oh my God,
Yeah.
those speakers.
But
those speakers are awesome.
we do try to be educational here on this show. And so we should go around the room and talk about what we've learned here. Because I'm sure I've learned a whole lot.
Have you?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I'm sure you've learned something.
Oh, yeah. I learned that Venison reminds me of Roger Rabbit. Something about his voice.
Oh. Yeah, but the thing is, I can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of see what you're talking about now. I never thought of that, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't think of it either.
Yeah. What about you,
Neither
Brian?
did I.
Brian, what have you learned?
Well, that's fun to
tonight?
go through the history of the Venison Stew show.
Yeah.
Brief
Interesting.
history.
You'll have to tune into an episode now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe someday you'll catch a thing about it was a lot of powdered sugar and elephant fisting.
Well,
All right.
Inside jokes.
elephant fisting.
I'll bring my safety pins.
and Venison.
That was a weird. That was a weird morning.
Venison, what have you learned?
Well, I've learned that surprise, that barefoot lurkers in the tentacle porn.
And,
yeah, I think a lot of people learn that. I mean, if they're listening.
I've learned that Winamp is sorely in need of an update, and there's still not a suitable replacement.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, that is. But on that note, thank you everyone for listening, and be sure to check out nhradio.com for all your internet radio needs. And tomorrow night, Vamp will be on if I remember to sign out of the messenger. And
I'll remind you.
Apparently, I've forgotten 3 weeks in a row now.
Oh shit!
Dune's like, "Do you hate Vamp or something?"
No.
I've had to kick you out 3 weeks now.
I'll remind you.
Yeah. But
damn, I wish you could take the second part of the picture. Then you'll understand the reason from the thing in my intro. This place had more wires than the White House.
Yeah. I'll have to see if we can find that for next week, and we'll have to tweet those pictures.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you everyone for listening. We got to head on out, so good night, everyone.
Good night.
And thank you for listening to...
Insert title here.
Skype is fucked.
Well, we all knew that. That's not something we learned.
Right.
I can't close it.
Oh no.
Well, that's okay.
That's bizarre.
I got to figure out how to stop the... there we go.
There you go.